Hey, everybody, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just made their plan crystal clear regarding a particular deal for a wide receiver. You guys know who I'm talking about. Last night, there was a Brandon Aiyuk update. And as Steelers fans, you guys know there's been an endless speculation about who Brandon Aiyuk may get traded to all offseason. And with the Pittsburgh Steelers being among the teams mentioned. But the Steelers have now made it pretty clear that they are, in fact, out. And I'm going to go to this story here. It's actually on a 49ers post on Sportsbook Nation. So, anyways, the Steelers have made it clear. And it's speculation that makes sense on the Steelers trading for Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, Pittsburgh needs a wide receiver. I mean, Roman Wilson is week to week, seen in a walking boot recently. I think I saw that he was just recently out of it, grasping at straws kind of by bringing in Roman's fellow U of M alum Tariq Black and former Browns and Falcons wide receiver Dalen Baldwin. He just worked out for the Steelers yesterday, so it's obvious they need to add someone. But 49ers reporter Matt Miyako of NBC Sports Bay Area, he reported last night that the San Francisco 49ers had the framework of a trade in place with both the New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns. And he reports that the Pittsburgh Steelers refused to meet the 49ers trade demands, and they're now out of the mix for the star wideout. So personally, I feel that Omar and Tomlin, they do have interest in Aiyuk. I think that's real. And it's interest that it's enough that they're willing to play the game, willing to make a nice offer. I'm guessing the hangup might be asking for a first-round pick. I mean, you can look at it. The Steelers traded one for Minka, but I just don't see it happening here. And myself, for one, I actually love the fact that your GM, Omar Khan, he's refusing to overpay. And that's going to end up being a valuable decision in the long run without a concrete quarterback in place yet, without that quarterback yet to pair with a potential new franchise wide receiver and a new offense. And let's just lay some stable ground first, see what Smith's run first, mind you, offense does first. And kind of, I think that a healthy Roman Williams and Calvin Austin, if they're paired with Freiermuth and Pickens, strong running backs as well, it very well might be enough for Smith to work his magic. And I'm going to close this down. You guys check out that whole profile. I can leave a link in the comment if needed. So ESPN's Mike Rice, he further confirmed this. He reports that the 49ers have granted Brandon Aiyuk permission to negotiate a contract with other teams. According to him, the 49ers are now willing to listen to trade offers for the star wide receiver. They've granted him permission to seek out a new contract with potential suitors. And Aiyuk and the 49ers, they still remain at an impasse. He's long sought out a new contract since breaking out for 75 catches, 1,342 yards, and 7 touchdowns last season. And it was even reported earlier by NBC's Matt Miyako, once again, that the Browns and Patriots could be in play for Aiyuk, echoing that sentiment while also adding, barring a change, the Steelers do not appear to be a potential trade destination any longer. No mention of the Commanders in his article. It just sounds like a trade could be in the works once Aiyuk has contractual agreement in place, and reports are coming forth that with those two teams, that's actually reality right now. So my guess, too, is that the 49ers also want some current player in the deal. And for Pittsburgh, it might be a player like Hightower. Absolutely unacceptable. The Steelers aren't willing and shouldn't be willing to include that. And Tom Pelissero, his update on the situation was particularly spicy. I kind of like this. He's clearly fed up with the social media rumor mill, and so am I. We got to just look at what's really substantiated here. And this is straight from him. There are multiple teams in place that the 49ers have had communication with. And as we sit right here, right now, there's no deal done. Brandon Aiyuk is still a 49er. There's no trade agreement with any team in place as we sit here right now. Repeat. No trade in place to the Pittsburgh Steelers, regardless of what you might have seen on social media, regardless of who might have brought a blue check. even though you can't buy credibility and put things out there by taking real information and other internet rumors and then packaging them as something that's actually real. And I really like this. Clearly, speculation on this trade really has no merit besides the fact that the Steelers, they could use a new receiver. The only thing really keeping this rumor alive, I think, is that the NFL Network, their insiders, they did note that contract talks between the 49ers and Aiyuk still remain stalled, and a trade appears more likely than an extension. And that's it. And also, he's been given permission. Prolonged contract dispute doesn't seem to be headed toward reconciliation. Should result in a trade before long. I think he does get traded. Remain stalled. More likely he'll be traded than work out an extension. Not that it's going to happen, and not that it's going to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we've got multiple teams in play outside of the Steelers. And in addition, he still believes that Aiyuk getting traded is a legitimate option. So just like Lloyd Christmas and Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance, right? And while there's plenty of smoke to believe that Aiyuk will be traded, it just looks like the Steelers are out. And I think there's also a game being played here, keeping this Steeler trade rumor alive to possibly up the offers from other teams, or even just to get clicks from media creators, or a play by the 49ers to potentially force Pittsburgh right back into the mix by saying that there's other deals in the works. Time will tell. But I think San Francisco is leaking as much as possible, as much as they can, to try to make a leverage play. I don't think it's anything else than this, friends. I don't think it's true substantiated rumors that Pittsburgh is going to trade up the offers, maybe try to convince and put pressure on Aiyuk to even return to the team. I mean, who knows? I just think the 49ers are playing the game right now. The only real main fuel for this is actually a real thing. I mean, Aiyuk, he named the Steelers as a team he could see himself playing for on an appearance on the pivot quite some time ago. And that's really the only thing that's fueling this, because Aiyuk can, in fact, have some control over where he goes. And beyond that, lots of smoke on this, very little fire. And you guys let me know in the comments what you think about this particular situation. I think it's all nonsense. I think a trade with the Steelers, by what I see from real sources, just is something that isn't going to happen. So you guys let me know what you think. Let me know if you've heard anything new. See you in the comments. Like and subscribe. This is a young channel. Absolutely love the way this is getting off the ground. And I want to be here for you guys as Pittsburgh Steelers fans to give you the best coverage possible. And it is such a pleasure to do so. I'll talk to you guys soon. And yeah, enjoy the off season.